Do you need a time block? Absolutely. You know why? Because your kitchen table is not the place to run a business. More importantly, doing it between you're working full time at your job and you're going to try to go home and just do it in the evenings, or then you're going to give up your lunch break, or that's never going to happen because we only have 24 hours in a day, right? And so after at some point, you can only white knuckle something for so long before you have to let go. And so thinking that you can actually build a business without structure and boundaries is just not going to happen. Good intuition, good will, good cheer, bad failure. So this is what time blocking looks like. It's not really saying I'm going to go into the office between 9 and 2 p.m. and I'm just going to work. You could do that, but what are you actually accomplishing? I've seen plenty of agents that show up at 9 a.m. They spend 45 minutes talking to whoever's in the hall. They go to that one class their brokerage had taught by that old guy that just wants to be significant. They don't actually learn any value. Then they have a title officer or a representative take them out to a free lunch. Then around 1 o'clock, they get back to the emails that are so urgent that they didn't get to in the morning. And then they call it a good day. Well, so is that time blocking? Absolutely not. Those are all the things that get in the way of a good, honest time block. So to me, this is what we time block for. It's only one of three things. It's either for lead generation, building your structure, or simplifying your busyness. In other videos, I'll explain all of that. But for the sake of this, I'm going to say, let me show you how it means to lead generate. So if you say I'm going to time block 9 to 11 a.m. to go into the office and lead generate, and you go into the office and all you do is lead generate, but you've only made maybe 3 outbound phone calls that whole time, was that a productive use of your time? That took you almost 40 minutes to make one call. So yes, you time blocked, but it wasn't actually for anything that was of productive value. You might say, well, what I had to do is research the property and find the address and make sure I was familiar on it. No, that's like a really inefficient use of time. When we time block something, this is how it looks. Like the reason we call it time block is we're putting it into quadrants. 2 plus 2 is 4. And so I make an intention that I'm going to start my day at 9:15 a.m. and I am going to time block until I have made 11 voice-to-voice phone calls. See, all work expands to the time allowed. If you give yourself all day to make 11 phone calls, you'll take all day. If you give yourself this block of time that it starts now and doesn't end until it's over, you will get it done in a very short amount of time. But Andy, how could I do that? How could I have an unended time block? I'll tell you what, every evening you sit down to a movie with an unended time block. And you give it all of that 2 hours and 45 minutes to watch it. You don't stop because you have to get up and make the dinner. You don't stop because you want to check your kids' homework. That's when you start saying, I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow morning. You see, for the things that we already want to do, we don't need a time block because they're a priority. It's the things that we don't want to do that are so deadly and dangerous that we just push off. So I say what you want to do is have a thriving business. If you intend on closing 6 pieces of business in 6 months, which this course can help you do, then wanting to close 6 pieces of business in 6 months has got to be more important than Netflix. It's got to be more important than that date night. It's got to be more important than whatever got you in the way. And when you actually get clear on your priority, then all you really need is a start time. So if I can help you decide at 9:15 is my start time, and I'm off to the races. And just like Andy, the first 11, I'm not going to stop until I make 11 voice-to-voice phone calls. Then I'm not going to stop from that until I've actually written 3 notes of gratitude to those individuals. Then I'm not going to stop from that until I made sure there's none of my incoming leads that have got in from my pipeline from the night before and responded to those 2. Once I've done all of those behaviors, now my time block is over. And if we actually knew that was the most important thing in the world you could do, then why would we carve out time to do anything else? It would actually just be a distraction. So that's what I encourage you to do right now. You pull out your phone and you change the ringtone for your wife, for your kids' school, your significant other. You change the ringtone for those 3 individuals, and then I'm just making shit up now. I started to see it, then you raised your hand.